Hello everybody and welcome to I Want You Newsstand. I am Ricky. Excuse me. So I've got an interesting thing I want to talk about right here. It's come to the attention that YouTube has cancelled YouTube Rewind this year. As you see on the screen right here, I'm just going to read what it says right here. So it says 2020. Since 2010, we've ended the year with Rewind, a look back at the year's most impactful creators, videos and trends. Whether you love it or only remember 2018, kind of like as if they're calling them out themselves because they seem to know that it was kind of crappy on their part. But good call, YouTube. You're at least yourself aware on that front. Fair enough. Okay. Rewind was always meant to be a celebration of you, but 2020 has been different, and it doesn't feel right to carry on as if it wasn't. So we're taking a break from Rewind this year. We know that so much of the good that happened in 2020 was created by all of you. You found ways to lift people up, help them cope, make them laugh. You've made a hard year genuinely better. Thank you for making a difference, YouTube. So this is quite poignant, to be quite honest with you. It's a good call, I have to say, on YouTube's part. Is there anything really you can actually, highlight this year that hasn't been bad? 2020 is... It's been one of those cases where I've never experienced a year where everyone around me, not even just but myself, has had problems. Everyone else is having problems. I mean, unfortunately, there's been a lot of fatalities with this whole thing going on. It's been lockdown after lockdown after restrictions after lockdown. People are getting frustrated with the government. People are getting frustrated with the rules being put in place. And people have lost loved ones, unfortunately, and I think it's a very good call on YouTube's part to basically just go, no, we're not doing this year. We can't do it this year because it's just too much. And it's very interesting. It literally highlights what 2020 has been like when even YouTube doesn't even want to try it. Because it's funny because it seems as though there's a small group of fans who enjoy Rewind. There's another group of people who like to enjoy just dunking on it, because it can be either be cringy, it can be just downright awful, or just weird. And then there's times where people just don't care for it. And as I say, it's really interesting when even YouTube is just like, we're not doing this. We are not doing this. But it's interesting to point out, a lot of people have been asking, what's going to happen next year? Is it going to be a thing next year? Me personally, I actually think it should be. I think it's been a tradition at this point. Whether it's a crap video or an interesting video, even if they do another Watch Mojo thing that they did last year in 2019. Because I thought that was an interesting way to put it down. Having kind of like a Watch Mojo top 10 or something like that going on. Even just a short edit video like that, but even then, you're able to do that for being locked down, as compared to the more highly kind of filmed and all sorts of stuff, choreographed stuff from the previous years. You couldn't do that, of course, because of lockdown restrictions, for instance. But even then, even just doing another Watch Mojo style video, it just wouldn't feel right. And as I say, it's a good call on YouTube's part to not do it this year. But as I say, hope it continues next year. It'd be interesting to see what they do next year. Are they going to come up with another Watch Mojo thing? Are they going to go back to the de facto ones from 2010 where it was all highly edited stuff, people dancing and all sorts? I think it's a little bit tricky when it comes to a YouTube Rewind, because the early years it was a case of there was only a smaller group of bigger, high quality YouTubers to watch. It was a smaller group, so you could put them onto a video of some kind, put them there for 2 or 3 seconds, move on to the next one, move on to the next one. You would have to increase the length of YouTube Rewind just to fit everyone in the community in that is recognisable within the industry. Well, I probably argue YouTube is kind of an industry in some way. But just trying to get everyone to come in and all sorts, you'd have to make it at least 20 minutes long. I've even heard of people suggest that YouTube Rewind, there should be separate ones for each country, with a central one, just trim in some parts from that. Which I don't think that would actually be a bad idea, to be quite honest with you, because it highlights, in a more select group, it highlights the bigger YouTubers, the better YouTubers within those groups. So it'll be interesting to see what YouTube does next year, but part of me doesn't really want it to go away this year. Hopefully it's just because this year has been so dodgy, that's putting it lightly as well, that you're not doing it, and fair enough. I just say, I've said it multiple times already, good call on YouTube's part. It probably wouldn't have been the best time to do that, because there's nothing too much good to highlight. So this little letter from YouTube themselves is probably the best thing they could have done, the next best thing they could have dne for that. And it is interesting as well. YouTube has had a massive insurge of content creators come in this year. People around the size of me or slightly bigger. I'm not just talking about this channel, I'm talking about my gaming channel, for instance. Those size of YouTubers, and there's been a lot of growth to the platform and growth to a lot of streamers and YouTubers this year on the platform. And I even remember in one case, friends who are also YouTubers that I watched quite religiously in some cases, they even had problems in some cases to stream, because apparently there were so many people streaming that was causing problems on the platform itself. There were times where the platform was lagging. In other cases, it was backends. There was maybe like their software, because a lot of people use Streamlabs OBS to stream. I use the de facto OBS, and of course Streamlabs was getting overthrown when it came to their bot service, and of course their actual own broadcaster software platform when it came this year, because there was just such an insurge of people want to use the program for their own purpose. So it was heavy insurge of people coming on, and a lot of YouTubers, at least my size, noticed some growth this year. So there has been some good this year. I will probably argue in that case when it comes to YouTube, when it comes to 2020, there has been some, as I say, positive stuff that's went on. People have been able to grow. They've been able to learn some new things. People have developed hobbies being in lockdown and all sorts. So it is interesting. It is interesting to look into this. So, as I say, it's interesting what this year's been like. Just hopefully when it comes to that, I just hope that everyone who's watching this has a very good 2021. And I know it's only halfway through November time, but if you're watching this might be the last video I make this year, because I don't make many videos on this channel, to be quite honest with you. But if you're watching this, I hope 2021 is awesome for everyone who's watching this, and for those who aren't. A lot better than this year. So as I say, good luck to all of you next year who are watching this. I hope you have a very good year next year. And I hope we have a YouTube Rewind 2021. That'll be interesting to watch. With that being said, I am Ricky. Thanks for watching Out Your Newsstand. I hope you found this interesting. Feel free to let me know what you think in the comments down below. With that being said, I will see you later. Take care. Bye bye.